Okay, we should be live now. Hi, this is Some Color Mage. I am currently with nobody. Blue said he would join. Hopefully he does show up, because do you really want me to do this by myself? Probably not. Anyway, we've got a thing. We have a state of play happening in half an hour, and stuff. Hold on, let me just put out the notices that we're live. Also, what the why does it? Okay. Live twitch.tv/FFWiki. Of course, anyone in the Discord channel is allowed to join. And I just got an email telling me I started streaming. Whoops. So, anyway, Final Fantasy 16 trailer may be happening. It might not. We honestly don't know, but everyone has managed to send themselves into a frenzy over it. So we're kind of obligated to watch out for this. Great. I should probably pop that out so I can use it wherever I want. Oh, that does not actually work like that. Damn. So we I always give myself a half-hour pre-show despite having nothing to say. God damn it. That being said, if you want incompetence, you don't watch the FFWiki stream, so it's not really that important, is it? God, I really should. Hey, Techno.
Yo, does this work?
I mean, I can hear you. You're a bit crusty, but it's
Okay,
working.
that's the best I can manage at this point. I'm on a boat.
Yes, I know. You told me. um,
Alright, so pre-stream speculation, right? I've heard everything from there's gonna be FF16 and FF7 Remake 2, and there's gonna be Metal Gear Solid Remake. I've heard everything from that to there's gonna be nothing at all, and it's just gonna be another clown day.
I mean, I'm betting on Clown Day because I am secretly betting that the universe will try to prove me wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm in that mode right now where like I'm excited, like I'm really hyped, but at the same time, like I don't want to be too hyped because so I'm prepared for disappointment, but you know, I could be I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, that's great.
Well, everyone's already thrown themselves into a frenzy over minimal evidence, so I mean, may as well add to the fire, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, we should send out a tweet
I did.
saying,
Oh, wait.
"Oh, you did?
Go on.
Okay."
I mean, I did send out a tweet about the stream starting and also a tweet about me betting something's not going to happen because that will force something to happen. Uh,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna send a tweet basically to the same effect. So you beat me to it.
yeah. Um,
In the meantime, I am gonna make the Nosh gameplay page.
mhm.
Field gameplay in Final Fantasy VI.
Like, in more serious prediction stuff, I suspect that a show based on major third-party third-party offerings, Square's going to show up even if it's not for the things we expect it to, because
Right.
Square does a lot of Sony stuff, so they have a tendency to show up during third-party AAA showcases.
Yeah, I mean, they could surprise us with something that's not been announced. They could surprise us with like, oh, Final Fantasy Dynasty Warriors or some shit. You know, like this is, after all, I think the 35th anniversary of the series. So
Right. Yeah, it is
yeah,
35th anniversary, and yeah, Chocobo GP is part of that, unfortunately. Stranger Paradise is part of that, very fortunately. And while the 35th anniversary website did not explicitly say as such, it is very much alluding to the fact that 16 is supposed to be part of that.
right. In hindsight, like, you know, I should have been more disappointed by Chocobo GP than I was, because like the idea of it is something I should be in love with, like a kart racer and a Final Fantasy one, because I love kart racing games and I love Final Fantasy, so I should have loved it, and I should have been so disappointed by it. But I never had especially high hopes for it. So when they came out like, yo, we have all these bullshit microtransactions in there, I was like, oh, okay. You know, I knew you were gonna kind of mess this up somehow. Because I mean, you know, it's like Dissidia in that it should have been a slam dunk, but it just wasn't, because they just decided to monetize it in a stupid ass way.
Yeah, and then the fact that the microtransaction store is one of the features that you had to pay for.
Right?
Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have managed it worse if you tried.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I mean, leave it to Square Enix to just mess up what should be a sure thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, yeah, even after all of the apologies and stuff, and all the things they're going to change, including making sure expired stuff has another way of doing this. Rumbling in the Discord this morning after season 2 started, apparently Cloud is nowhere to be seen. So
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I just find that hilarious. Like, I shouldn't. I should be really upset. But at this point, that's just funny.
yeah.
So, I mean, given that they have that game, I don't expect them to have something crazy like Final Fantasy Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
I'd be here for it if they did, but I feel like they've probably already announced all their big 35th anniversary stuff. So something like Final Fantasy Dynasty Warriors would be like 40th anniversary or 45th or whatever.
Yeah. And while it is different teams, and Koei Tecmo already had Stranger Paradise, so
Yeah, I mean, they could partner up with another. I mean, if they were to do Final Fantasy Dynasty Warriors, they would partner up with that team, the guys who do that.
yeah,
I don't remember
Force.
what. Yeah, Omega Force. They would have partnered up with them.
Yeah, like they're like Omega Force and Team Ninja are both parts of Koei Tecmo, but I mean, I actually have no idea what Omega Force is. Oh wait, no, I know what Omega Force is doing right now, because there's a Fire Emblem Warriors 2 coming out soon.
Yeah, and Square does have a good relationship with what's his name, with Koei Tecmo, and
Koei,
I
yeah.
think they still have a good relationship with Team Ninja, because even though Dissidia NT didn't work out at all, the mobile game worked out great and is still going.
Well, I mean, I remember back when NT was dying, that a lot of the complaints were more on the netcode side of things, and also, I mean, I didn't really like how it took most of the customization away from the game, because the Cydia, I mean, when I think of the PSP, the Cydia games compared to NT, the PSP ones, even if you get the general gist of what a character does, they're allowed to almost completely cycle out their movesets, and you can make so many different builds with a lot of different characters. Meanwhile, the NT, all of your bravery attacks were fixed, and you get exactly 1 HP attack unless you're Varn.
Yeah, that's the problem, is like NT was already a really hard sell because it was like they basically ditched all the RPG elements from the original series, the ones that people really liked. So it was already a difficult sell. So when you add on top of that, oh, by the way, the network doesn't work, you're not going to gain much of a player base. You know, like, they could have, like, if the network had worked, you know, there might be, like, a portion of, like, dedicated players who would be defending it to the death and say, no, this is actually, like, a hidden gem in this series, or this is actually underrated, or something like that. You know, that might be still saying it's worth playing. But because the game doesn't work, then there's no player base to begin with. Like, you know, no one's gonna brave through the frustrating, like, you know, mess of getting online to be able to tell you whether it works or not. So basically, that's how they kind of like killed their own player base, really, is the fact that it didn't work. Like, had it worked, then there might be a different discussion about it now, but, you know, it didn't work. It's like with Chocobo GP, like, if they hadn't done the microtransactions thing, it would probably be another case of, like, World of Final Fantasy, where, you know, it's kind of weird and different from the main series, but, you know, over time, its popularity has continued to grow, and more people are starting to, like, discover it now and say, oh, this game's actually underrated, and go back to it. But because they marketed it the way they did, because they monetized it the way they did, they killed all future for that game.
Yeah, I do appreciate World as a good game, although I just kind of realized that I'm not a big fan of Pokemon likes, so...
Right, yeah. I mean, like, I think the main thing people like about World of Final Fantasy is just that it's a really charming game. Honestly, it's just really easy to, like, you know, it's really easy to appreciate the how the fan service is in it and is done really well, and how it's got a really nice art style, and, you know, the story is kind of nice. You know, I think, like, that's the main draw to it. Like, the gameplay itself isn't really something that people write home about a lot. Mostly people like everything else around it.
Just a quick check. Are you watching the stream on YouTube or Twitch? Because I tend to prefer YouTube because I find it more stable, but it's got largest stream lag, so if anyone's watching on Twitch, I kind of had to switch to that to keep up.
I always use YouTube when YouTube is available. Okay. Like, I mean, I know Twitch has gotten better, but my experience with Twitch is that the chat is super toxic, so I just avoid it.
I mean, yeah, the chat sucks ass. So does YouTube's, thankfully. They're both easily hideable.
Oh, yes.
My main thing is that I find Twitch to be so unstable that having just 2 walls in between my computer and my router is enough to make it lose its shit in certain circumstances. Maybe not maybe not as huge a problem next time with streaming, since I'm moving. I bought my new apartment yesterday, but for now I have to try and keep my connection as stable as possible. Anyway, hi Blue.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a bit
Wondering what's
Yes.
going on. All right. Techno, you're really, really loud.
Am I?
Is that just me? I think so. Maybe you're loud on my end. I might be able to fix that. Let's see.
Yeah, you can change individual users' volume on your end.
Oh, I had no idea I could do this. This would
just-
be so good for. This would be so good for podcasting that I can go and lower people's volume.
Yeah, I'm just going to boost
Or
yours a little
increase.
bit, so everything should be fine.
Okay. I need to find where this stream is. It starts at 6 p.m. Correct?
Yeah, it starts on the hour.
Yeah, 6 p.m. your time. Right
This
now,
is,
midnight for me.
Actually, you're a bit too low. I'm gonna put you up to 70. Now I found the trailer for Bullet Train coming out in July. This is IGN. Where's just Sony's stream? Do they not have one?
They do,
PlayStation?
I think.
Yeah, they have a Twitch channel and also
here we go.
YouTube, and they're streaming on both.
PlayStation, that's it. I got a PlayStation. So, are we live around the world right now?
Yeah, we're live. Oh, it should
Okay.
be. It says I'm live down here.
I don't know. I don't know how streaming works.
Yeah, nor do I. And I did it once.
I'm gonna hide the chat because I don't want to see that. It's just everyone. I imagine everyone's just saying Hollow Knight, right? That's how these streams usually go.
Isn't that usually a more
Still
Nintendo
song,
Yeah,
still
they just
song,
shout
still song.
Names of games that they want to be in there, and then shout how disappointed when that game isn't there. That's how Twitch chat seems to work.
thing?
So that's what we're
Granted,
doing
that
now
is,
because we're.
Yeah, that is what Final Fantasy Twitter has been like for several months.
Like, where's Final Fantasy 16? And then where's Final Fantasy 16? And then where's Final Fantasy 16? And then occasionally, where's Final Fantasy 7 Part 2?
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah.
I think because 7 Remake was much more recent, there seems to be less of a clamoring for it as compared to Final Fantasy 16, where like
Intergrade
that was-
came out last year.
yeah, exactly. Whereas 16 was revealed, I want to say 2 years ago now, and then we heard nothing about it since.
All 2020. When it was
Yeah,
revealed.
that reveal was before the PS5 came out.
I don't remember if it was before or just like the same time. Oh, it would have been like a month before, I think, because PS5 came out late 2020.
Yeah, it was like the final big PS5 ad showcase.
2020. That's what I'm going to start calling that year. Bring back
Yeah,
the ends and years. Dos mil y veinte. Year of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Indeed.
So, Techno, you're on a boat right now?
Yes, I'm on a boat.
Oh. Where in the world are you on this boat?
I'm in the Mediterranean
Okay.
right now. So I'm gonna be here until the end of the week, when I am flying from Barcelona back to Texas, and then starting my new job and moving there permanently.
Cool. But you said it wrong. It's Barcelona. That's how they say it. In
Yes,
Finland.
that's right. It's Barcelona here.
Barcelona. It's hilarious. The Castilian accent is hilarious. Where is your boat going to?
Tomorrow we are going to Napoli.
All right.
Yeah. So, and then I think all the rest of our stops are in Italy. But
Okay, so you left
stop-
from Spain, and then did you go to the Balearic Islands?
we went to Mallorca.
Ah, cool.
Then we went to the south of France, And then we went to Civitavecchia, which we've been to today. And the rest of our stops are other parts of Italy.
That is fucking awesome. All these places are like fantasy lands to me. I've never been to any of them. They're all just places on a map or things that got bombed in World War II to me.
Well, like, we went to the remains of a Roman bath today, which was pretty sweet. They had like this... Yeah, they had like a virtual reality tour of it. So like, you'll walk up to the place, and then you put your VR goggles on, and then it gives you like a reconstruction of what the place would have looked like. So you compare that to the ruins, and then they give you like an audio guide to give you like information on like the history of it. It was sweet as hell.
I don't know about VR. VR sounds kind of lame because you're there already. Why do I need a digital whatever? I can do the VR thing here in my house in New Jersey.
Like the benefit to it is basically like...
Or is it an AR thing?
What's that?
AR, is it actually AR?
Nah, it's just an improved version of the previous VR headset.
Okay. Is AR real, or did that never actually happen?
No, AR exists, but it's not really widespread because like the goggles are way too expensive for it.
Yeah. Well, I figure for like a theme park attraction, it might be able to work.
Yeah, I mean, AR is technically a thing, but most of the implementations are basically just you point a camera at a thing and stuff happens. And that's like the 3DS was AR compatible. It's just
yes, it was.
It just
the
it
final
mostly
boss
sucks because
of
it's just going
Bravely
to drop
Default.
a card on the floor and have things happen while pointing the camera at it.
The final boss of Bravely Default had the camera turn on, so then you could go see your like face in the background. Or Kingdom Hearts 3D. You could go and play with your little Pokemon guys with the camera on.
Yeah.
I don't remember what exactly it did. Yeah, in Dream Drop Distance, your nightmare. What were those things called? Nightmares?
The spirits.
No, they have a specific name.
Pretty funny.
Okay, well, they're called Dream Eaters, but the nightmares and the spirits are like the two different subspecies. The spirits are your party members, the nightmares are your enemies.
Okay, yes. I'm doubting we're going to see much Kingdom Hearts stuff, but we are going to see VR things, because they announced Horizon VR game yesterday.
Yeah, and they definitely drew a lot of attention to the PSVR 2 in at least the English language announcements for this. Apparently they put less attention on it in the Japanese, but...
what was that, Techno?
I'm going to save this Nosh page because the stream's about to start, so I have to work on it later.
Okay. You're working on wiki stuff while on vacation?
Yep.
Okay. That's dedication.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been doing it much, to be fair. I've done maybe 1 hour the whole trip.
Okay.
It's going to be really... it's going to be really funny if, after all of this waffling over how it's possible, it might happen, it might not, and then just like the last fucking time they had a 16 trailer, it's the very first fucking thing on the stream.
That's what they did last time.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it would not surprise me. Like, we've seen it before. And also, I remember it was a state of play when 7 Remake was re-revealed after having been revealed, and then they were quiet on it for like 5 years or something stupid like that.
They made it, and then they gave it to Tri-Ace or something, and then they're like, no, Tri-Ace, you suck. CyberConnect, sorry. CyberConnect, you suck at this, so we're taking you off of it. And who's to say if Square Enix was justified or not in that? We'll never know. And then they brought it in-house, and the Unreal Engine came to save Square Enix from their horrible, horrible in-house engines, and finally video games were saved forever. Hopefully Final Fantasy 16 shows up. It's going to be I don't know what I'm gonna do if there's no 16 at this.
There is going to
Well,
be
here's
an
the
even
question.
larger preponderance of clown wigs on the FFWiki Twitter feed if it doesn't happen, because everyone is absolutely convinced at this point.
We've gotta,
Get the Hollow Knight
like,
clown.
instead of just doing the clown meme, we should just post Kefka laughing, because he's a clown, and it's Final Fantasy related.
He's an evil clown too.
He is an evil clown, yeah. I'll
He's
prepare
it, he's
some
Pennywise.
Kefka meme for if it's not there.
Like there's even clown wigs in our notifications. One of the people who liked our announcement of this stream has a Clive clown wig avatar.
Son of a submariner! They'll pay for this!
Okay, let's see what's going on.
I think that might be Pennywise as Kefka. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's starting to fade into darkness.
Alright, I've got a meme to prepare for when it doesn't show up.
It's gonna show up. It's gonna be the first thing.
We'll see. 3/24/2023.
Yeah,
This is Final Fantasy 16. This is the release date. Come on.
I don't think
No,
this
it's
is
ain't
it.
Oh, god
No,
damn
it's
it.
not.
There are no R's in Final Fantasy.
Oh, it's the re-release of Life of The Last of Us, right?
No, it's Resident Evil.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Last of Us remake. Oh, okay. Resident Evil remake.
Oh, Resident Evil
Resident
4
Evil
remake. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I know people were really excited for that, so happy for all of them out there. This one's meant to be the best one, is what I've heard.
I've played about an hour of this one, and I should have finished it, but then never actually did.
Okay. I'm not a horror fan, but then, I've never really tried a horror game before, so I
They're
don't
really
know
scary.
if I'd like it. Yeah.
I can't do it. I am, like, so scared that I can't even finish them. I really liked Resident Evil 7, and I just could not do it.
Yeah.
I guess it
In
depends
that
what
case,
you
I
want,
probably
because
couldn't
like
do it.
4 through 6 is kind of that period where the series went more into like third-person shooter territory. Like there's always gunplay, but like 6 especially is basically just you gunning down hordes of. They're zombies, right? They're zombies.
Yeah, but people didn't
Well, they're
like
technically
that one.
not in part 4. Someone will tell you, no, they're not actually zombies. They're actually infected with a different kind of disease in Resident Evil 4. It's not the T virus or the C virus.
It can be different. It has to be.
I'm guessing this is some... Oh, is this a new game? Oh, okay, I thought it was
No.
Resident Evil 4 again.
No, I think it still is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Well,
Leon
it's done
Kennedy,
now.
and that's the president's daughter that he has to save.
State of Play returns.
Are you guys
We've
ahead of
got
me?
some great
Possibly.
PlayStation updates
Maybe.
to share with
Did you see
No, I think we're on the
PSVR2
Thanks to
content
Capcom
also
for
in
kicking it
development?
off
Yeah,
with
I'm
Resident
past
Evil
that,
4,
so-
coming to PS5 with
Okay.
PlayStation VR2 content also in development. Now let's get a sneak peek at
And
4
now it's
games
more
in
Resident
development
Evil.
for PlayStation VR2.
Okay, some Color Mage is way ahead of me, and Techno, I think you might be where I am.
I'm on the YouTube
Yeah,
stream.
I think so.
Alright, I'm seeing Village stuff.
Well, even
Yes.
Winters.
The art stuff for
You
Village.
escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you?
Well,
Oh,
7
it's
came out
See
for
how
VR
special
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the woman everyone was horny about for ages,
Yeah,
right?
this is very much a very good business decision because the PSVR2 will probably sell millions of units alone based on the promise that the giant woman can step on you.
Well, maybe there'll be more Lady Demescastru in this version, because she's only, like, the first boss of the game. Spoilers, I guess, but everyone should know that by now.
Yeah, that is good marketing for sure.
Man blood.
Oh, be careful what you wish for, Ethan Winters.
I mean, if you go hand it to them, they know exactly which part of the game to focus on to draw people.
Yeah. I'm not playing a horror game in VR. That's
I'm
way
not
too
playing
fucking
a horror
scary.
game, period. The fact that it's too scary for you tells me everything I need to know. Because, I mean, I can't even do horror films.
I love horror films, but when you're in a game, there's a level of immersion that's like beyond just watching it.
Right.
There's a sense of actual danger because you're driving something. But I also like being scared. Just horror games, I get too scared.
To plunder our righteous
Wait, so what's this?
and cut our throats.
The Assassin's Creed?
No, it's...
No, it's
What
not.
have you done to ensure the future of this forsaken city?
I think this is one of the indie games, possibly.
Who have brought
Yeah.
nothing but chaos.
I would suggest that it's probably an indie game.
When death
I'm guessing
was
high on that
slaughtered,
because
this
there's a lot of production value
it was
here.
I who resurrected it. It was I who shined as a beacon of hope.
I think
The
I
tower cries out
recognize
for
it. Question mark?
Is this Zombie U VR or something? Or Zombie Island VR?
When the bells ring, the song they sing will be righteous.
Don't know where I recognize it from.
Hey, that's Pi.
Welcome home.
Oh, The Walking Dead.
Oh, The Walking Dead. Okay.
Oh. Is this a game that's come out already? Part 2.
I think so. Yeah, I guess VR update or something.
I remember there was a Walking Dead, like,
And
four-person
this looks like
multiplayer
No
game.
Man's Sky.
Yeah, I was gonna say No Man's. It was either gonna be No Man's Sky or it's gonna be Ratchet and Clank, and I just don't see them doing a Ratchet and Clank game in VR. So
Can I just say, No Man's Sky is the greatest, like, redemption arc in all of video games other than Final Fantasy XIV?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was about to say
turnaround
Final
on No
Fantasy
Man's
14,
Sky
but
was
then,
seriously
yeah.
impressive.
It is amazing
That is-
just how much is in this game now.
See, that's what happens when you make a game with a promise and then initially deliver on it, you eventually do. Right. But there's, if you look at like Anthem, for instance, like they just straight up abandoned it as soon as it didn't do that well.
Anthem was a much more expensive game and had a lot more that needed to be done.
Also, in the case
Oh,
of No
so
Man's
here's
Sky,
Horizon,
most of the advertising problems were not so much the developers, but Sony basically pushing them to promise more and more, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was just gamers being shitty on that one. This looks like the whole game you're on a boat.
Blameless Murad had me released from prison.
This is the Horizon Zero Dawn ride.
Redemption
Yeah.
is still
Oh no.
the
Oh, no,
live
I'm wrong.
gameplay
I still
clips
need to try.
with the disembodied hands. Like I realize that's a conceit to get VR working,
find
but
out why the machines are
it
attacking.
looks weird.
Yeah,
In
it
the
does. It looks
future,
like,
it's
it looks like
Rayman.
Rayman. Yeah.
The future of gaming is Rayman.
I mean, honestly, like,
Sorry, the bow and arrow is very cute.
I still need to try Horizon 2. I've heard that it's good.
That
Need to give it a go.
free man.
But, like, I don't
will
see
take
what
all your
Horizon
wits.
VR is going to be about.
Your skills.
It's Horizon but first-person shooty stuff, and you're in a boat for a lot of it.
That looks to be the case.
You have walked in the shadows.
It looks more like Horizon Uncharted,
Now
honestly.
it's time to climb
Yeah.
into the light.
Horizon had
Oh,
Uncharted climbing sequences already. Horizon 2 looks like if you liked Horizon 1, you'll
Hi,
like that game.
I'm Ben McCall,
and I
narrative director
ultimately
of
did not like
I
Horizon
hope
1.
you enjoyed your first look at Horizon.
I
All of
enjoyed
the
it a
Mountains,
lot.
coming
but,
exclusively
like,
to PlayStation VR 2.
I
Also
enjoyed
happy
it
to
because it was the
announce that a
first
big
ever like
update to
Western
Horizon
RPG
Forbidden West,
since like a
including
BioWare
New
game that I
Plus,
actually really
will
got
be available
into.
to download on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 today.
Yeah, it's got very good combat. It's got an interesting art style, but it has like the story just never went anywhere from me.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I don't know if 2 is any different, or is mostly the same? Like,
I looked up the spoilers, and it kind of looks like mostly the same, frankly.
okay.
Ultra hard difficulty. Oh.
For details on this free update, please check out PlayStation Blog. From all of us at Guerrilla, thank you for your continued support, and please stay tuned for more updates to come.
I'm sure Horizon 2 is a very decent game, although it had the indignity of trying to go up against Elden Ring.
Is coming to PC.
And that's what I like about the Horizon franchise. When one comes out, a week later, a groundbreaking open world game will come out.
These past few years.
Yep.
Sacrifice.
I'll completely eat its lunch.
Asking for nothing.
Or Insomnia. Okay.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
You have to be the kind of man.
Oh, Spider-Man. Spider-Man VR.
I think they might be done with the VR section.
Oh, okay. Alright, this is Spider-Man 1. So I don't know why they're giving us more Spider-Man 1.
You can't just push people around like that.
Just ask for help next time.
Time to bring
Hey,
back
hopefully it's not VR, because it seems like Spider-Man VR sounds like a very easy way to get motion sick.
I think that's impossible to do, yeah.
Oh, a PC version of Spider-Man.
Your clothes on the kitchen
Oh, okay. Alright.
I need to play this game, I think.
Yes, you do. Best Spider-Man game ever made.
And I guess
I've
this
never
is
played any
this is
Spider-Man
Stray.
game. Oh, this is, yes, Stray! Yay! Oh, I've been looking forward to this game. I'm guessing this is not going to release this year, is my bet.
I'm not a PC gamer,
look at
but
that
I'm
little
thrilled
guy.
yeah, this is cute. I'm not a PC gamer. I'm thrilled that Spider-Man is coming to it anyway, because that's one of my favorite games of all time. Like, that game was such a good depiction. Like...
Yeah, but it's kitty time, Techno. You gotta focus on the kitty. Stealth kitty. No, don't shoot at the kitty! Oh no! This is gonna be very hard to play because if the cat dies at any point, I'm gonna be devastated.
Yeah.
Oh, next month.
What?
Yeah, July 19th.
Explore a mysterious...
Yay! Video games are saved!
Coming to PS5 and PS4 July 19th. PlayStation Plus extra members and higher can download Stray at no
thank God.
when it launches next month.
And PlayStation Plus on
Up
launch.
next, 3 games that will get your heart racing.
Don't care, not getting it.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to talk about PlayStation Plus on the
games that will
podcast.
get your heart racing. So that suggests to me they're racing games. Oh, is this Starfield?
No.
Okay.
Starfield's gonna be on the Xbox thing. I don't know what Starfield will be on here. This is gonna be I don't know what this is. That's a studio I've never heard of.
This looks like an indie.
Did you know?
Oh, they said
No,
get your
it's
heart
more than
racing. And this looks like a horror game. So I'm guessing this is a horror game.
Like you would have been.
I think this is a new IP.
Out of that rack.
Yeah, is this some like spiritual successor to Dead Space?
No, I don't think so.
That's your old life.
Oh, wait, maybe.
Okay.
Let that go. Because your new life is entirely in my hands. I'm just trying to give you a chance.
You know, there's like a horrible noise coming out from your mic. It's very
I've
creepy.
heard that noise before. I'm pretty sure it's keyboard noises.
Oh,
Yeah.
Parts of this definitely do feel Dead Space inspired.
They've really gone all out on zombies show.
gives me chills every time.
The zombies look like the Resident Evil 7 ones. Ooh, I don't like that. Really don't like that. Ew.
Yeah, it's definitely a Dead Space.
Well, it's not Dead
Successor.
Space, but yeah, it's definitely inspired by that.
Right.
Oh, here, another game coming out in the year of our Lord 2022.
In the year 2030.
So this looks like a Borderlands kind of game.
No, this is Sable.
It's too... Yeah, it's too colorful to be Borderlands,
It's,
but...
I'm pretty sure it's Sable.
Sable.
And the dead.
It's the same art style as Sable. Oh wow, so Sable has been this influential almost immediately.
This is fun.
Sable's another game I desperately need to play, but this, yeah, wow. It's kind of uncool of them to steal Sable's vibe that fast, though.
And I definitely like it better than when cell shading is like this instead of, you know, when they try to do simultaneously really detailed and cell shading at the same time. That always looks wrong.
Yeah.
So it's Sable Rollerball.
Rollerdrome.
Sometimes I wonder if things will ever be normal again.
No, they won't.
What is this? Oh, this is some anime game.
Hey. Oh! That's not going well for him.
No. Is this something anyone knows about?
No.
I'm behind you, I'm pretty sure.
The world hasn't ended
Is this a
yet.
platinum game?
It's not hopeless.
I was gonna say, it looks platinum.
I think gameplay style, yeah, but I don't think the graphical style is particularly platinum. Yes.
No. But, I mean, if it plays like a platinum game, I'm fully for it.
I look forward to
Hold the
seeing
R2 buttons, hold it.
Man, this is the most anime game.
There's dating mechanics! I'm fully for this, I think. I love them holding hands. Alright, I hope this plays well, because that Scarlet Nexus game last year, that I did not like how that played at all.
It's her nights. Okay. Yeah, if it plays well, I'll consider it, because Persona 5 was great, and this looks to be in the same style.
Action games and dating sims
I think
collide
is it
with
actually
Eternite,
Korean?
coming to PS5 and PS4 next year.
It's
Let's
her
check back
nights.
in with Capcom for a new look at an
Oh,
upcoming
action
heavy
game meets dating sim. Okay. Alright, that's interesting.
Look, Fire Emblem has proved that you can just put a dating sim into anything and it works.
Coloon Knights is a video game fund that has given $100 million to indie projects. That's what that is.
Oh, Street Fighter.
Ah.
When you go looking
Oh
for
yeah,
strength,
Street Fighter 6. About time,
it's
I
not
guess.
like a game.
Yeah,
journey
that's the
doesn't
thing
have
that
a real
people were
ending.
hyped about.
Wonder if
They announced
changed
this
the
a little
garbage
while
logo.
ago already.
Okay then, hope you're ready to begin.
Oh yeah,
wanna
everyone
start off
hated
on
the
the right
logo.
foot in this city.
That was the big news about it.
Yeah, hey, dare I do this. Never feel loose. And when I get up in the game, y'all
It's a street.
a real problem, but I solve them all face proof.
Oh, nice
I'm
soundtrack.
going forward and you talking fool. Yeah, y'all wanna win, let me spin, boy. Or dunks aside, I'm super fly like I'm hanging off the rim, boy. I've been winning for
With
my
open world exploration elements?
from the intro.
I don't think this is Street Fighter.
I'm pretty sure it is, because that's
Oh.
Chun-Li right there.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
gotta
know
be
if this
Street
is.
Fighter, right?
Oh, there it is.
It started from
There was like open adventure bits to it. I guess it's like a Street Fighter spin-off that's Yakuza Street Fighter.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be that.
Wait, that's a very thick Ryu. This might be Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't just use the Chun-Li, the Nicki Minaj Chun-Li song, if they're gonna use a hip-hop soundtrack for this.
Ready? Then show me.
She's a lot of problems. I mean, do you really want to start with
Yeah,
that?
I mean, she is.
I think I like the new Chun-Li.
You don't like her, you said?
I don't think I like this design for her. I don't know.
Oh shit, I froze.
I like extremely thick Ryu. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Alright, I'm gonna have to refresh the page. Because I froze.
Sorry, Techno. They're doing Street Fighter stuff right now.
Okay.
The game's got an art style, I'll give it that.
Did they announce the name of it? Is it Street Fighter 6?
I still don't know.
Yeah, it's Street Fighter 6 and the logo is at the very least more interesting.
Okay,
This is a very cool Street Fighter 6. There's a lot more to this game than just punching people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you also
I'm
punch
gonna
people.
actually buy this. Like, you know, I've never really been into fighting games that much, but that makes me think I actually want to buy it.
I don't know how much of it there's gonna be. I mean, that could just
was
be
your
the
first look at Street Fighter
like,
6 gameplay.
lobby
Mark your
area.
calendars.
Two
all I know.
indie
Comes to
adventures
PS5 and
arriving this
PS4
year.
in 2026.
Alright, so this suggests to me that it's time for the
two
cafe
indie
meme
adventures
because I
arriving
don't
later this
think
year.
there's gonna
We're
be
running out of
Final Fantasy
time.
Cafe
We are
yet.
running out of time
We've
right
got
now.
about 8 minutes left in this.
At least
Tunic!
8 minutes, yeah.
Yes! Oh, that game is
Sometimes they go over.
fantastic. I've already played it, but everyone who has a PlayStation, you should go play Tunic.
Tunic. Is this like the Zelda inspired game?
This is
that's
the
like-
Zelda Fox game, yes.
Yeah.
Zelda Fox kind of Souls-like-ish game.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
this
was
is
a pretty good trailer.
Well, the game's out already, so.
Right, so this is just end of exclusivity deal, I guess.
Jesus, the
Yeah,
YouTube chat is talking about Morbius. They're saying it's
Okay.
Morphin time for everything.
Wow, I would not have bet Tunic coming out on PlayStation this year. I figured there was going to be Xbox exclusive for at least a year.
Record life at the end
Yeah.
of the season.
Oh, and we've seen this
Make it
game
real
before.
for people in the future.
Which one's
they've
this?
shown us-
She
I
asked
don't
us
remember the
about
exact
living
name
together.
for it, but
And we asked her about traveling alone.
I would say this has been all bangers, even without Final Fantasy 16, though.
Yeah, I was gonna
this has
say,
been
like,
a
this has been a
pretty,
really good
pretty
episode.
decent show.
This has been great. Like, they could have no Final Fantasy and I'd still be happy.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, it'd be sad about us not having that, but, you know, I'm kind of used to us not getting that at this point.
The way she listened made you want to tell her everything.
I got to look in her journal. The world was telling her its secrets. I think she even figured out what will happen
I
to
do
us
not
when the
recognize
season
them.
ends.
No, I've definitely seen this one before. I just can't remember the name of it.
Is it
I just don't recognize it at all. Season A Letter
Not
to
yet.
the Future.
Yes, this was announced a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. Alright.
I think,
Well,
I think
guess that's
Techno
it.
is massively.
Oh,
Techno is massively ahead of me.
It's it! It's it!
It's here! It's fucking here! I guess no caffeine.
We're both like 30 seconds ahead of me now. It sucks.
最新のトレーラーとともにインタビューなども始まりますので、ぜひそちらも楽しみに
Kept you waiting, didn't I?
世界には本当に様々な困難があります。
Oh
僕らゲーム
shit,
開発者には
boys.
ゲームを一生懸命
Yeah.
I think
作る
Yoshi
ということ
P
しかできま
has
せん。
gained some years.
ゲームというエンターテインメント
Now the
です
trailer. Alright, let's do this.
How the fuck is the most excited I've sounded in years been just seeing the face of Naoki Yoshida? God fucking damn it!
In a world
He's your daddy, you know? He was flying everything that brought you joy for years and years now. Okay. Shh. Alright, shh. No talking until the end of this, please. Or I'll mute you guys.
Okay.
What are the dominants? The power we wield. It wears away at our very
Typing. You are
breaks us. It
muted now.
us that its immaculate aspect might reveal itself. The icon.
There's going to be another war, isn't there?
Interestingly, why?
Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Motherfucker, that looks good.
The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of Valisthea into the abyss.
The continued Capcom action game influence is very, very obvious.
I unite the dominants, that we may bring an end to the strife, and found a new order to see us unto tomorrow.
Oh shit, the fucking giant motherfucker? I don't think we've seen him before.
If I take the field, our duel will shake
Absolute unit, goddamn.
to its foundations.
Well, alright, we've seen... Okay, so Bahamut, there's Shiva, there's Titan, there's a Phoenix.
That's Odin?
Garuda, okay.
And fucking summon jewels?
Yeah, the summon jewels looks fun. Oh, Odin? Oh, motherfucker, it just froze on me. Okay, it's working again.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred.
Okay.
Every home that burns, another can be built.
Interesting, so they're giving actual, like, focus on the summons. It's like they're giving more focus on the summons than any playable characters. Okay. Awakened Child of Fate. Alright, so here's our anime protagonist. Okay.
Awaken Child of Fate.
Alright, well that looks cool as fuck.
God damn. Summer 2023, okay.
Alright,
And
well...
that's a wrap. Don't forget to visit PlayStation blog to
Well,
learn
there
even
you
more
go.
about today's
Damn it, 13 months from now. Well, I'll be old and dead by then. I'll be a mummy by then.
July 2023.
Oh my god,
Right.
what is that noise? Holy crap. Alright. Is that Armageddon that was making that noise?
Hey man, what's up?
Oh,
Yo,
wow.
what's going on?
That looked fucking awesome, of course.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There were
yes, it did.
There were two. There were 2 life bars in that thing. What was going on with that? It's like a fighting game. I don't understand. But it was all like FMV stuff, so I don't. There were like cinematic battles. Is that all predetermined? Is that all like just like the opening of Final Fantasy 13-2, where it's like they pretend it's a fight, but it's all bullshit? Or is that actually some kind of strategic level gameplay? It's like Skies of Arcadia, but you're fighting with summons. You know, the ship battles in Skies of Arcadia, but it's summons? That'd be fucking awesome. Oh, man. That looked cool.
Yeah.
Well, video games are saved. Sony came along and saved it. It's down on video games, and they walk in and they have nothing but hits.
I'll tell you, though, the only thing that I'm still a little, like, I'm still a little skeptical about. We only have seen one party member so far, right?
Well, we still have tons of time to see. Maybe this will be only a one party member game. And
maybe
they strongly implied. They strongly implied that what's the main guy's name? Is that Jack? Why do I think his name's Jack? Clive. Clive, yes.
Clive.
That's strange to
He's derided. Right, so it's strongly implied that he's a Freet.
Oh, okay.
And that, like, if Freet is like his evil other self, and he's going to become part of it, because a Freet is special. That was the one that was posted last.
So if that's the implication, then that also implies there are other party members, because we did see other summons fighting.
It could be that many of those summons will be party members. Maybe all of them will be party members.
Yeah.
I also say, I think it looks graphically better than it did 2 years ago.
Oh, much better. Yeah. Like, I think not even close. Like, they're clearly way ahead compared to where they were.
Oh man, this is fucking great. I'm happy that things have worked out for once. Nothing ever works out in the real world, except in video game worlds. You just gotta be patient. So we have Kingdom Hearts 4 coming eventually. We have Final Fantasy 16. All they need to do is show Final Fantasy 7 Part 2, and E3 will be...
I'm gonna use the Twitter account to post the Kafka meme.
Why would you do that?
Are you
post
still
the
in Clown
anti-Kafka
World,
meme.
Techno?
What's that?
Are you still in Clown World?
Are you still in Clown World, Techno?
7 Remake 2. Like, I expected either 16 or 7 Remake 2, and we got one of them. So, I'm gonna post it anyway.
Well, Final Fantasy 7 Part 2 is gonna be at the Microsoft event, I think.
I don't
know why I'm doing a voice now.
You might actually be right about that on account of the fact that it's possibly going to be revealed to be multi-party. Sorry, as in it's going to be coming to Xbox, is what I was trying to say. So they said July 2023 is the release date of 16.
Summer.
No, they said summer 2023. So I'm guessing that it's going to be 13 months. I'm just guessing. Because summer could be September. It could be 15 months. They could move the date again because they say it's going to be a time range doesn't mean it won't get delayed till 2024.
I would just like to call attention to the tweet currently at the top of the Final Fantasy Wiki's feed.
Alright, I've posted.
Alright,
I'm gonna put it in general chat because I'm kind of proud of it.
What have you done? Oh no. You're hyping this up and I'm ready to be disappointed. Okay, sure. I'll give you a like.
Yeah, only about 5 minutes since this trailer, and everyone is now suspecting that Clive might fuck.
Clive does fuck in the trailer. I forgot about that. You see his back, and you see, I think Shiva Lady's back. They are not wearing clothes on the front. It appears that Clive does fuck. Final Fantasy officially fucks. Oh, wow. So, I have to go eat dinner. And then live the rest of my life.
Yeah, I may as well just cut the stream now, because I do not do live post thing analysis, because Jesus Christ, that would be a pain in the ass. We will have time to ruminate on this and talk about it on next month's podcast, I guess.
Yes, so even if they show nothing else, although we've heard there will be some Final Fantasy VII news this month, but even if they don't show anything else, like, we've got something to talk about.
Yes, and the podcast title will be Video Games Are Saved. That's what we're going to call it. All right. See y'all.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to